Hi guys, how are you doing? Why should I, a woman, care about you, a man? I have seen all the men in my family and in my life suffer, have a hard time, really struggle. Not all the time, but some of the time. And I observe, and I've been curious all my life, what could be the cause of this? And through the scientific act of observation, without judgment, just observing what happens, I have come to the conclusion, to the theory, that there is no clear place for a man in this world. I observe there is no clear place for a man in this world. Why do I think this? Why do I say this? So men are the ones that have been really weaponized. Men are the bad guys, the baddies, the ones that start the wars, the ones that rape, the ones that harm, the ones that leave the family, the ones that destroy, all the bad stuff. And I've noticed that men, through default, just by being men, and this is what men tell me, that they get labelled with that bad brush. And while in some cases that may be true, is it true in every case? Is that true, yes or no? I think not. So my offer, my modus operandum, my operating system is, no matter what gender, just treat and see everybody on an individual, unique premise, from a unique perspective. So without all of the labels, without all of the layers, and without all of you lot did all of this stuff before you, so therefore you must also be doing that or be like that. No. Everybody is unique and they've got their unique path, which is why I sang that song on here the other day. You're original, got your own path. You're original, got your own way. And that said, it just opens up loads of space. Why do I care about you? I'm a woman. Why do I care about you men? And I come up against this a lot. This came up actually today. So why should I care about you? So I really care because I understand that there is a beautiful dance, a beautiful harmony actually between the masculine and the feminine, between man and woman, but also between the masculine and the feminine principle. So it's not like body and bits specific. It's a principle of energy. It's a dynamic. And I see a possibility whereby this dynamic, that's also understood as yin and yang, or just balance, where it's much more in balance. Where it's not in balance is where women have to go out to work and do the childcare and do the work and run the family and manage the home and do everything, or do most of it. So some women find themselves and they tell me that they're spinning all the plates and they're doing all the stuff and they don't feel supported enough, as supported as a person that's doing all of that really needs. And so when somebody, and I've got a leadership background, so here's a leadership perspective. I've been facilitating personal development for 30 years within that leadership. And there's a really key, crucial point of leadership within that. So when an individual is doing stuff, managing stuff and project managing and logistical stuff, that's actually a masculine principle. That's getting shoes done. Does that make sense? Yes or no? So when you're out there getting stuff done, you're out there doing, do. It's a bit like that, bomb. Like, for example, I've got a to-do list today. Here's my to-do list. There's my to-do list, and I've checked off some of those items already, the ones that I've done. So when I'm in to do, that's quite yang, that's quite masculine. And so imagine if a woman is doing the family, doing the kids, doing the job, doing the keep fit, doing all the stuff. And then also because women are very compassionate and sensitive and emotional beings that are aware of others as well. So a woman can tend to also be aware of others and want to help them and want to support them too. So that also requires more resource from a woman. It requires more logistics as well, checking in on the text messages and finding out, checking up on you, how you're doing and all of that. That takes time, it takes resource as well. So if a woman's doing all of that activity outwards, out the way, and offering and doing out there from the inside to out, the more that she's doing that, she's not being and receiving, which is the principle of the feminine. It's not gender specific, it's just a principle of the feminine. So if she's go, lots of busy, lots of lists, lots of potential overwhelm, that can cause overwhelm. She's being in her masculine, she's being in her doing, and I do this a lot, I'm very in my masculine. What happens though, this is the key piece, the crucial piece, so what happens then when that woman is interacting, a dynamic, is doing a dance, do the dance with a man. So if a man is also being in his masculine, if he's out there to work, if you're listening to this and you're a man and you're out to work and you're doing your male thing and you're making stuff happen and you're in action and you're out there getting your sales or your clients, you're building, you're producing, you're doing stuff, you're potentially also in your masculine as well. So what happens is when a man loves a woman, so when they come together, if they're both pushing, can you see what's going to happen? Push. It's like with like. And ideally what wants to happen and what flows really beautifully with yin and yang is one is yin and one is yang. One is yin and one is yang. Can you see that, guys? Yes or no? So the thing that I really care about is to explain to men why there's nothing wrong with you, why you're not a project that needs fixing, and why it's not personal to you if things are not going so well for you. Or the most common thing that I hear is that relationships are not going so well, or they're just too difficult, you're just not going to bother, because to swipe left or right, I don't know which one it is, you have to just work so hard or jump so many hoops, you have to just be so everything. You have to be over a certain height. You have to be over 5'10" tall. You have to have all of your hair. You have to earn over 20k, 25k, 30k a year. You have to be on it. You have to be on your A game. You have to be winning. You have to be doing all of these things and look a certain way. You've got to be fit and all the rest of it as well. That demand, that expectation of what's potentially needed of you or asked of you is already so high that who's taking the interest actually to get interested in you? What are you about? What are you all about? What do you value? What do you like? What do you care about? What are you interested in? See, all of these things have got nothing to do with what you look like or how much money you earn. Have they? Have they, guys? Yes or no? However, popular culture, especially here, Instagram, Married at First Sight, all the reality stuff, the media and all the rest of it, are judging you, man, potentially by all these things, by how this and that, how much you measure up. I did a video called How Do You Measure Up, where I elaborate onto this. All my videos, by the way, are on YouTube. Search Powerful Respected Men. You'll get all the videos there. So what's my point? Why do I, women, care about that? From my perspective, I can clearly see that things are misaligned and they're not very balanced. And to my eyes, they don't look very fair, because the individual human is not being given a fair hearing or a true view of who are you really? Who are you really? It's just all about your credentials. And I just don't think that's what it's all about, because I'm in a happy marriage. I've been with my husband for 11 years, and it's got nothing to do with all of those credentials, how harmonic we are as a couple. It's got little to do with that. It's got more to do with resonating at the level of values, at the level of heart. So why do I care about you? I, woman, care about you, man, because I see that the way that you are perceiving that you might be failing in relationships, or finding it difficult in relationships, or labeling yourself as having mental health difficulties, or not being able to talk about your feelings because you don't like the way you feel, I'm here to say that from my 30 years of facilitation experience, there's nothing wrong with you, and you're not broken, and there's nothing there to fix about you. All of this is not personal to you. It's actually personal to culture and to society, especially social media society, because I'm a 70s child, and I grew up when we had Sony Walkmans when there was no internet, basically. And life was different then. And people used to meet and get to know each other on a personal level. What are your hobbies? What are you into? So my offer to you is, would you be willing to let yourself off the hook if you're making yourself wrong, if you're judging yourself for not being enough? Would you be willing to let yourself off the hook and just go, hey, what if none of this is your fault? It's just society. And that's nothing personal. That's just the way it's always been. But that doesn't mean it has to be the way it's always going to be. No, because you can decide that. You can choose how it's going to be for you. You can choose that. You choose and you say how it is for you, because you are the creative director of you, of your life. And you're a genius. You're a genius. And when you're inspired, when you're chilling out, when you're in the environment that you enjoy, when you're with people that you like, or animals, when you're comfortable, when you're relaxed, you can access a zone of genius, whereby you can get to know what your unique gifts are. Gifts are unique to you that nobody else has. Nobody else can do what you do like you can. Nobody. Even if somebody, the guy next to you, is doing that same computer program or that same musical thing, the same, nobody does it like you do it. Yesterday I was singing at a jazz jam. If you go on my other Instagram, Maria Monroe Music, actually I've put it on live broadcast there yesterday, live at the Brunswick. I sang within a lovely evening hosted by Paul Richards, where different musicians get up and do their thing. So at one point there were 3 trumpet players all on the stage with the jazz band holding the rhythm and the pace and all that. And each one played their trumpet solo absolutely uniquely specific to that person. And then the next one came on, did their 4 or 8 bars, totally unique. They're playing the same instrument, they sound totally unique. Nobody sings and sounds like me. All the other singers are unique and they sound amazing because of that uniqueness. So why do I care about you? Why do I as a woman care about you? I believe that realignment of masculine and feminine principles, of releasing prejudgments, releasing this is how you should be, just to release those ideas, and just why not start again? Just wipe the slate clean and go, hey, you're an original work of art. And if you don't know that about yourself, I really invite you to get to know that. And that's something that I can show you. And I as a coach don't do any of the work for you, and I don't fix you because there's nothing to fix, and I don't tell you off because you've done nothing wrong. I'm just here to show you how to access your genius. That's it. How to get into a structure that's successful, whereby you're motivated every day, not because you're doing spiritual flip-flops and affirmations and all that, and yoga and all that stuff, because I don't do that stuff. It doesn't do it for me. Do you know what I do in the morning? My morning routine. I watch creative stuff on the internet. I watch Strictly Come Dancing. I watch Drag Race. I watch the Pottery Throwdown. I watch the Bake Off. I just watch the glow up, the makeup. I just watch all the creative stuff where people are doing creative stuff, and it does it for me. That's my meditation. That's what makes me jump up and want to just be in my creative director mode. And it makes me happy seeing other people create. And I really believe that everybody is a creator. It's not just like it's not about being good at art or good at music or good at drawing. Being a creator means that you have choice about your life and about you and about your boundaries, about your choices, your preferences, your beliefs. It means that you choose all of that, not what society's told you to believe about yourself. And that's why, just to conclude, that's why I as a woman care about you, a man, because I'm inviting you to be the genius that you are and to be in creative director mode and to just step away from all of those labels, because I do. And I create a culture that has a place for a man, that has a place for it. And actually, just to be really, really specific about that, I'm just going to show you my desk here. It's a bit of a mess, but never mind. I just want to make the point. So here's my desk. There's my chair here. And here, this chair here is the space that I've created. There's my desk. There's my desk. There's my chair, there. There's my chair. And that chair there, I have created, that I'm sitting on now, because the light's good. This space here, I've made this chair here for my husband to sit. So I'm physically, symbolically saying, I create a space for you in my world. When I'm here doing my magical miracle Maria creations here on my amazing chair that I love, that I was given for my birthday 2 weeks ago, I invite him to sit with me. You are part of my world. You're part of my heart. You're part of my brainchild, my genius. I invite you to sit with me, and he does, and it's wonderful. So I create a space for men in this world because I observe that there isn't a clear space for men in this world, and I see that's, in my opinion, that's why men seem to struggle and suffer and don't quite fit in, because if people are doing all the doing, then what's there for a man to be or do, apart from the regular perception that I see, that I don't think is right, is, well, you go out and you earn all the money. And I, for many years, have been working in the security industry. I'm a licensed SIA security guard. That means I'm a bouncer, which is really funny. It's funny because I'm a wimp. But anyway, that's another story. The reason why I got into security is because I wanted to understand the point of view of men and of the Wellard thing. And standing for 10, 12 hours a day next to my fellow male colleagues, as I have been for many years, and listening to how it is for them, listening to their world, has been very humbling and very, very fascinating. All the things that I share all the time are things that men have told me, are only things that men have told me, because how do I know I'm a woman? I don't know. I don't know that walking down the street you run the risk of being beaten up. I don't know that. I've never had that, thankfully. But men tell me that that's what they're scared of. And I really care about that. Of course I do. I care about just rejigging perceptions. And I think it really starts with men having a space created for them, like the space I'm sitting in, by women, by family, by society, by employers, whereby things are just a little bit more balanced. Thank you. See you on the next one. Bye for now. Remember, Powerful Respected Men on YouTube for all of these videos. And I invite you to, if you're on Instagram, go on to the link in the bio to download your 10 crucial things that every man needs to know about a woman, such as to readdress and harmonise that lovely dance of the male and the female. And when you sign up to that, you're going to get the PDF, and you'll also get some emails from me saying hi, and you want to connect, you want to have a call with me. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Take care.